without it. We'll be in trouble. And of course I'm low on stamina and we don't have a lot of food. I think I found out though that the cattails you can cook to replenish like a bar each cattail. So that's at least a easier source of food than berries, I think. And even meat, because meat's such a pain to find. Cool. Well, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Because I'm already like low on food, so I'll get some cattails too. Assuming it still works, that's going to be the big question. Also, that pelt that you have when you hunted, you can combine it with a bunch of cattails and make an upgraded backpack. And then torches are now makeable. I know how to make torches for everyone. And we can also make beds, which help speed up the night, so we're not sitting there the entire night. Yeah, I learned a lot. Well, and the big thing that we need to do is, especially during the nights when you're idle, take items from our collection and just look them up. Like, look them into the handbook and see if you can figure out the items that you can craft with it. Because all of those are guided. So this wolf just, or this... One sec, I'm dying. Cool, I got another pelt. So that's a backpack upgrade, basically. But, yeah, so look around for a temporal thing where the wheel isn't turning as much. If you find an area, holler. I'm collecting berries, finding cattails, and looking for that temporal to fade away. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Because even if you don't use the cattails for food, like if that doesn't work, we can still create baskets and put the baskets in world. And it's a lot easier than doing the clay vessels. They're smaller than the vessels, but because it only takes cattail, we get more storage a lot easier, you know? Because those vessels were a pain in the butt to make. And we're going to need to transfer all this crap, right? So Okay, so the wheel stopped turning where I'm standing now. Of course, I am like... I'm pretty far away. I'm basically dead east. Where is Ian? Is he having issues? It's always hard to tell. I mean, at this point, we really don't have coordinates, but we could give him the coordinates of the house. It says he's there. I think he's already found our house. No? What the heck? It like moved a lot and then it stopped. If we can find an area that's counterclockwise turning, that would be even better, but I don't even know how that works. Or clockwise turning, I guess? I don't know. I don't understand the... Because it normally... Counterclockwise is bad. But I mean, this spot, it could work. Fire, clay, and soil right by. I'm not really seeing... Yeah, here's some medium fertile soil. I was also... There's a hint in the wiki about if the higher you are, the better. So like, let me go up on this hill up here. Yeah, maybe see if you get on the top if you... Yeah, see, when I'm up on this hill, the wheel is moving, but it's kind of like teetering back and forth and actually kind of going clockwise a little bit. Are you closer where you're at right now? I don't know. I'm like 50. I'm 400 meters east to get to where I'm at. How close are you? Yeah, because you found a spot, right? Or are you not having luck yet? Okay. Is the wheel turning at that close? Or you found a spot that's safe that close? It's a really cool tunnel right here. great view, but I don't know if it's a good spot. All right, so I'm heading back to the house area with the idea of the closer the better for running distances reasons. I mean, even by that trader, which is kind of near our house anyways, the wheel's not turning. Let's see, is there any medium fertility soil? Honestly, the soil doesn't matter because we can transfer it. Yeah, I mean, we could build right by him. Or near him. Let's see if we can find a high elevated, somewhat safe area near him. Okay. Figure, let's try to find like a elevated area, or honestly, do you want to build right on the water so that we can keep our farm near us? This is all low fertility though. Okay, so tell you what, let's make, let me check right over here real quick. Because we need to just make a decision, honestly, you know, just to get away from that area. I'm literally like north of the place. The wheel's not turning. We're right by some granite, which if we can destroy that later, we can use it. Bunch of caves though. I'd rather not be by caves. right, so do you know where you were though? So at least you know how to get back. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna throw down a basket, and as far as getting Ian here, if Ian, you go to those cords, I'll be back there and just pick up a bunch of crap. Okay, let's say right here. Can you not place baskets? No! Well, there goes that plan. Okay, but nevertheless, let's say we set up shop like right here. Of course, setting up shop, we're not going to have we're going to have to make vessels because we can't transfer items until. So tell you what, let's everyone, if you can, get to the house. And I'll meet you there, and I'll take you to the new place, and then we can start building it up ASAP. All right, so there's Xynn. Where are you at, Josh? Are you almost back? Okay. So, in order to get going, what we need to do is we need to make some more vessels. And we need to. Do you have a shovel yet, Ian? You don't even know how to craft yet, right? I'll give you a quick crash course. Come here. Oh, okay. Yeah, make yourself a shovel. Are you dying from food? Okay, so very left vessel. Well, here, I'll give it to you. Come grab this. Eat this. Stop. Come back. It's on the floor. There you go. Eat that. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and start cooking things because we're going to have extra food issues now with 3 of us. All right. So I can teach you how to do this if you want to help out, Ian. Watch the fire pit. When the fire pit is done cooking, in the vessel to the left, there's a bowl. And what you want to do is take the cooked meat that we were making. You can see it cooking in there, and put it on the ground. And then once it's on the ground, not the bowl, but yeah, the pot of food that's coming, you put the meal on the ground, and then you put the bowl into it to pick up the stuff from inside of it. So you can see, if you open it up, it's progressing. It's about, there it goes. You see now it's a pot of cooked food. Pick that up. Put that on the ground. Grab this bowl and then right click it. There you go. Now put that into the vessel, the food, and then put the pot back in the fireplace. I'm actually just going to cook some raw game food real quick. And what else do we have? We have some poultry. I'll work on that next. We also have some red meat. Awesome. But yeah, let's start making tools. What do you need? I think you picked up that shovel head. Alright, so there's another shovel. Do you have a knife yet, Ian? Okay, let's make you one real quick. This will be 2, actually. Help me chisel this out. Alright, if you picked up a head, just put a stick with it. Or you can drop on the ground, that works too. Here you go, Ian. There's one. You throw me the head, and I'll make another real quick. So here's some of your key things to do. First, go around and hit this grass with that knife. You know, this growing grass. Yep. And you should get some dry grass. You need about, let me think about this, 9, 18, 27-ish. That's how you make a bed. Did we run out of firewood? Yeah. I just had to prep it again. I'm gonna just start cooking a lot of food just so that we can consolidate. And what's your stamina at? I'm assuming you're pretty low, Josh. All right, grab the meat. There's one in the vessel for you. Or the meal. So once you have the grass, Ian, put 9 into your crafting window, and you should be able to make a hay bale. You want 3 hay bales. Okay. When you have 3 hay bales, put them up on a row, like, you know, horizontal of each other, and you can put, yep, you can make another bed. Oops, somebody needed, yeah, here's another basket. You can grab that, Ian, if you have room. Cool. I'll see if we can cook those cattails as well, because we're going to have excess once I finish this meal. As far as torches go, let me make you guys 2 torches real quick. We may spend another night here, unfortunately. We're not quite ready. You know, let's get some food secured. Let's settle ourselves, especially now that Ian just joined. And we can move to the new place next morning. Are you able to make 3 beds? We have 2 beds, right? Can you work on that, Ian? Get a 3rd bed for Josh if he doesn't have one already. Yep, just put the pot back in. No, actually, I might... Yeah, we got some more red meat. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 meals, which is actually quite a lot of food. And then if the cattails work, we'll be in really good shape. Let's try to make 3 beds in here. 1, Ian has 2, right? And then, yeah, make a 3rd. Set it down, and we can sleep once night hits. It gets super dark at night, Ian, so like, you can't see shit without the torch, which I will make you 2 torches shortly. It's really easy to make, by the way. You literally just put a stick in that fireplace. Sorry. Alright, so I have torches. 1 for you, and 1 for you. You can equip it on your offhand by dragging it into the very bottom left slot. Then it's just always on. You don't have to like worry about it. It has a shelf life, but it's like, I think it said 2 days or something like that. But yeah, now you guys eliminate. This was major, like finding that out. I don't know if it works if it's in your inventory, but you can just put it in your offhand, and then it's always lighting up. You can attack mobs with it, and they can ignite, but a spear is better. In fact, Ian, here's a bunch of flint. Start making like all the heads of the different tools, and combine them with sticks. You know what I mean? Start making... Oh. Yeah, toss it to him. Alright, so... Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape now. A little dangerous. I stole it. Here you go. Oops, I threw it and it went down the ladders. Control to go down. I see that. Do you need help? Can you get out? There you go. No? Oh, I see. Well, let's go to sleep, by the way. I think we're in a good time to all try to sleep. Okay, you took those 2. Let me take the other one. I mean, I think it's supposed to just... You see how much food we lost while sleeping, by the way? Stamina, I mean. In fact, I'm like low now. I have to eat a food real quick. How are your guys' food bars? So basic rule of thumb, Ian, is if you're 4 or less, take those meals, the big meals, because those will fill you to full basically if you have 4 or less. If you have higher than 4 stamina, just try to chew on like berries, or we're going to try cattails here shortly. In fact, I'm going to start that right now with the 27 you gave us, because that is our number one problem right now is food. Yeah. Someone want to go up the ladder and check if it's still nighttime, by the way? Nice. So it's already daytime. That's a little faster than what we used to do, huh? Alright, so how do I cook these cattails? Cattails root. We need cattail root, actually. Where's the root? Okay. So I'm going to make you more. You need 3 more, Ian? Dang it, I'm giving it to Xuluu. Yeah. So when you pick up that basket, you'll notice on the bottom right of your screen that your inventory, the baskets get put there. How many baskets do you have in that bottom right corner right now? Okay, cool. And then if you press E, you'll notice that there's now inventory slots in your inventory. So you got more storage. It just helps a lot in general. Like, in fact, we're gonna make some backpacks. Of course, I say that, and then I need the big hide pelts. Do we have one? We only have one. I don't know what the small ones are for, but I think the large can only be used for it. Or not? What am I doing wrong? Hunter backpack. 3 cattails and a huge pelt. We have to get a huge pelt for it. We don't have a huge pelt. Linen sack is made with flex. Leather requires tanning portion. If you press H, you can look through all this and how to do it, but we need a barrel in order to do it. And in order to make a barrel, we need copper age. So we're not quite there yet. Because we need charcoal in order to get the copper age. Anyways, if it's daytime, let's get out. Let's leave. Dude, are these turnips ready? These turnips are ready. I have no idea how to harvest them. Just punch it. And you get seeds. Nice. You get about 3 sometimes. Sweet. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and reharvest. And that's awesome that we've successfully... We got 15 turnips from that. Okay. We still need a GTFO from this area, even though it's going to be a huge pain. So let's do this. Ian and you guys both should follow me real quick, and we can at least bookmark the new home. Did you bookmark this location, Ian? You may want to do that before you wander off. If you just tap M, you can right click the area and then hit add bookmark. Or I think just right click anywhere and it gives you a waypoint added. All right, you two ready? Let's at least find the new place real quick. It's literally just right here. I'm basically thinking like literally on this spot. No, not on this spot because, well, actually, if you look, the wheel is turning right. Which way is it turning for you guys? Is it turning clockwise or counterclockwise? So what that means is if you look really close, the teal is getting refilled. And that teal is your, I guess, like your sanity meter. So for whatever reason, walking like 100 meters is enough to restore our sanity. So let's flatten this and let's put a lip too. Like imagine spiders climbing up here later, right? So like make sure there's a edge lip on each side. So yeah, that makes sense. So then we can get more dirt too. Okay. You want to go down one more, or do you think that's enough? Sounds good. What I'm kind of thinking is let's expand the ground so it exceeds the cliff side of each corner. One downside of going down one more is there is going to be some andesite rock in the center, but that's okay. It's only in the center point. Exactly. And then what we're going to probably need to prioritize is making a fire pit, getting our beds transferred, and making vessels like ASAP. Because if the vessels are here, we're good. We need storage. Transferring the stuff actually isn't too hard. Sure, one sec. Ian, I'm going to teach you how to make the clay stuff real quick. It's educational. First, we got to find clay. I'll teach you how to do that real quick. Follow me. It's going to be this color. Yeah, so you see this right here? It says blue clay and soil. And it's like a little off color. When you break this, you get clay shards. Go ahead and pick up some. Yeah. I'm going to grab a small stack real quick. Feel free to... Oops, sorry about that. Feel free to help me hit the clay. Okay. So we got quite a bit now. Let's get back upstairs. Now, if you take the clay... and you can use it. Hold control, right click on the ground just like you're making a flint, and take the shape of a vessel. You'll see it like on the second row. Yep. So yeah, right click obviously to start for this part. And I'll show you the trick here in a sec once you get this filled. Okay, so when you have it like this, if you press F, you'll get the 3x3. And yeah, now you fill faster for like these bigger ones, right? Okay, then you can press F and go back to 1x1. If you overfill, it's not end of the world. You'll see it just turns red to be deleted, you know? The other trick I'll show you here in just a sec once we delete these. So left click the, the red area. Okay. So you'll notice this one's identical to the previous. Press F and go to the duplicate one, the very right one. And what it'll do is just autofill it the same as the previous one. You see? So this is like super fast now with duplicate. And eventually it's going to collapse in like that. And you'll notice if you keep duplicating, it puts it in the wrong spot. So you have to go back to 1x for this layer. Yeah, I like it. One thing though, make sure there's like a lip. Imagine spiders coming off the edge. Like you want it shaped where ideally the edges, I think you did it over here, right? Kind of. We can always collapse the inner part too and make it, yeah, carve the cliff. But you know what I mean, right? Make the house larger than the ground below it. All right, so once you finish molding this, which is a huge pain in the ass, by the way. Yeah. So, yeah, once this is done, you can literally just have an open slot and right click it. Exactly. And then we got to make a fire pit real quick. Which, do you have any dry grass on you right now? If not, I'm going to grab some. To make, yeah, you know how to do it, right? You start with dry grass on the ground, just like you did, and then you right click it with logs like this, and that makes a fire pit. And then you put wood inside it. Put your unfired pot in there, the vessel. Put it inside the fire pit. And then here's a fire starter. I think you can use your torch as well. But nevertheless, yeah, you hold control, right click. It takes a little bit, and then you start a fire. All right, we're gonna need more wood. Did you make a hatchet yet, Ian? If not, I'm gonna grab it. No, it's fine. So with trees, good. So with trees, what you want to do is look for the bigger ones. Like you see this over here? And just break the bottom of the tree, the very bottom log. Because it takes a while, but the nice thing is it's like vein miner, where gravity applies to the rest. So then when it breaks, it collapses, get all the logs. Now, in your crafting window, put a log below your hatchet in the, you know, the E crafting. And that's how you make the wood logs. Or the firewood. I do. I'll hook you up. One sec, Josh. And we just got to keep that fire pit going because it needs to get to 300 degrees. Here you go, Josh. 3 of them. Oh no, it's raining and it doused our fire. We need to put a water roof on this water. How much dirt you got on you, Josh? Yeah, just cover the fire pit. We can always revise this later. There is gravity with blocks, by the way, so kind of be careful. Awesome. Okay, so while that's cooking the unfired storage vessel, we can start another one. I'm going to go ahead and start it over here, but you can actually start another one, like right by it, and, you know, we can make them in parallel or whatever, because we're going to need a few, at least 3 or 4. Oops. Oh, you're making another fire pit. Got it. So yeah, all this work to make a chest, basically. And yeah, we're gonna have food issues. When you go grab food, Josh, we should have a vessel by now. Did you already grab food? When you go grab food, bring all of it that you can find, and we'll put it in the first vessel. Because that's going to be the thing we're going to need the most quickest, you know? Because we should have a vessel finished by the time you go grab it. Yeah, because I'm down to 4 stamina myself. I assume, Ian, you're close to the same. Yeah, that's pretty close. Why isn't it letting me? Oh, that's why. All right, first vessel's done. Got a second one coming. Where do you think we should put the storage? Any preference? I kind of feel like we should put it above us on the wall. I'm pretty sure it works. Oh, never mind. It requires solid ground. Alright, well. We know this is going to be a cliffside, so I'll just line it up on this wall for now. I like that idea. I'm going to need more clay. But we can get that. I'm also going to double check about these cattails and what we do with them to get the roots. Okay, I figured it out, Josh. If you harvest with a knife the cattails and you break the second part, you get the roots. The roots can be cooked for food. So I will work on cooking some of this and we'll see how much it fills, because that's potentially a lot of food. I'm going to put down the other vessel right here. Damn it, I keep forgetting you can rotate it. Sweet. Yeah, I'm making food with cattail. And it refills. It's about the same as berries. Nice. Alright, so yeah, if you see cattail, use your knife on it and get both parts, the upper and the lower parts. I don't think so. I could be wrong though. Try emptying one fully and see if you can. To be honest, I don't really know all the mechanics of this game. You could try breaking one once it's empty, you know? Did it work? Nice! Well, we could use more pots anyways. This game does not have a lack of items. But that means when Ian finishes those two, or when we finish those two, we're done, probably with vessels for a while. Yep, sounds good. I'm gonna kill a lot of cattails and try to resupply us with some food. I'll be able to make new beds too if Or we can bring the old ones, either or. All right. There is some food if you need it real bad in, you know, we may need to, like, organize this. Yeah, just eat the boiled meat if you got it low enough. We'll worry about organizing tonight, which, by the way, the sun is setting. So let's definitely work on getting beds ASAP. You can go grab them. I'm going to go try to make some too real quick. Just in case you don't make it. Oh, our fire, or our torches went out, or my torch went out because of the rain. You can reignite your torch, by the way, just by putting it back in the fireplace. In the rain, I see. Well, you may want to check your food bars before anyone sleeps. Oh man, cattails are so nice. It's not a ton of food, but it's a lot more than we were getting. Shall we go ahead and go to sleep? How's everyone's food? All right. Wait for the... Here's some berries, Ian. And... the cattails are cooking, but they're taking a little while. And of course the fire just went out. There we go. Yeah, grab the cattail out of the fire pit. Eat that. Nice. Including all the pots. Yeah, let's get to bed. How's your food? Are you still pretty low, Ian? Okay, here's another cattail. We should all be good now. Let's go to sleep. I think tonight, other than finishing up the house, let's finish food. Like, go around and harvest cattails like crazy now that we know it's a super easy source of food. Oof, man, look at all that stamina going down. Do you think we should just leave it out? Yeah. So very right chest, Josh, there are torches. So as you build this house up, you can ignite, illuminate it. Okay, so I read up on the survival guide, and the old house, you see the sprocket in the bottom center of your screen? If that turns counterclockwise, the teal liquid that's inside the gear starts diminishing. And if it gets to the bottom, bad things happen. I don't know what bad things are, but I hear it's pretty bad. So you want to stay out of areas that cause that. And our old house had that. All right, so I'm going to grab some flint. Man, this damn rain. Yep. So yeah, Ian, if you feel brave, you could hunt animals. I will tell you this, if it's a bighorn sheep, respect it. Yeah. Well, he should already have one. I feel though that like priority one is let's go massacre. There's 3 cooked cattails, by the way, in the very left vessel. But yeah, I'm gonna go cattail hunting because we've now established that's the easiest food in the game right now. And yeah, definitely during the night. I mean, that sounds good, Josh. I think one thing to remember is we don't fully know how to organize things, but if nothing else, get them to stack, if you want to take the time, take each item in our vessels and review what you can make with them. Because, like, those pelts, I don't know what tiny pelts are for. Bones, I don't think we can use till barrels, but you might want to double check that. Find out, like, what are the uses with bones, because we were collecting quite a few, and we still don't fully know what they're for. Because maybe we can make, like, bone tools. The other big objective to continue tech progression, Ian, is that we need to make charcoal. And in order to make charcoal, we have to create a fire pit thing. So we need a lot of wood, basically. So as you're out and about, if you want, especially once we get stamina under control, we need to get a fire pit. Or sorry, we need to get charcoal because we have the crucible, we have the molds, and we have the ingots. We just need to churn. Basically, we need to get to the copper age. And that's where we stopped last time, was realizing we needed a lot of wood. We do have seed, by the way, Josh, that we probably need to plant near our new house. Find some medium soil near water. Because, you know, 4-day investment. If you ever see mushrooms, especially the non-red variety, Ian, and they have little mushroom caps on them, harvest them, especially with your knife. What you're eating when we make those meals is 2 pieces of meat and 2 vegetables, and mushrooms are considered vegetables, so. All right, I have 50 cattail roots. Definitely a better source of getting food. Yeah, red mushrooms, I guess, are poisonous. That was the tip I got on the stream. Brown's great, Bolera, and then the white caps are good too. And if you want to master the art of hunting, I think I'm not sure if pigs attack, but I do know that like smaller game, rabbits and such, run away. I mean, I would say though, if you ever hunt, one rule is don't hunt if your stamina is above 50%. Because you figure if you die, you can return and you'll get back to 50% stamina. So if you're over 50%, you're wasting food. You want to make an area for our new fire pit, Josh, by the way? Or the charcoal pit? Because if you do that, especially if you can keep it near the house, I'll start stacking excess wood in there, and we can keep count of how much we need left. Because, yeah, I'm going to start cutting trees. I got both fireplaces cooking my... Ooh. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know what that does yet. You do know about the in-game NEI, right? Ian, have you touched that just yet? So, I'll give you a quick crash course. If you press H, there is an Everything tab, and you can search for any item in there. So like, for example, if you search for resin, you get a resin result, and you can see it's made for armor and furniture things. It looks like for future gears and stuff. Also, yeah, if you go to guides, the survival handbook guides, you can kind of get an overview of different types of mechanics in the game. Like currently we're going to do charcoal burning, and we need to make a weird shaped prep area to put the charcoal in. So we've done the basic survival already, and I think we started the smelting process too. Like I have molds that I made with clay. We have crucibles. We just need the charcoal and then the nuggets. So yeah, if you do see a iron ore or any sort of ores, copper, pick those up as well. They're actually useful. We're going to be needing it in mass soon. They look like just normal rocks, just a little bit more darker. Because that's the only way we're going to get a pickaxe. feel like cutting down trees takes so much stamina that I'm like breaking even with the roots that I'm cooking. So where's your fire pit planning to be, Josh? I don't know where up here is. Oh, you're gonna put it above us? Like on the ceiling? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Cool, let me know when you... By the way, with the beds, we probably want to elevate this one more. Like, let's make all of the house 3 high. If that's cool. I mean, later, of course, but... Yeah, cattails are definitely positive net worth effort. Some of our seeds were just on the ground. I wonder... Huh. I'm not fully sure why. Maybe I didn't pick them up earlier. There's a... You know where our fire pit is in the bottom? There was a rabbit just running into a corner down there. I'm going to expose the top while I make it, but I get the idea now. Well, I mean, for the time being, I'll just start stacking wood on a bottom row, and then we can cover it around afterwards. Yeah. I'm just breaking it so it's easier for me to keep track, because it's not always straightforward if you got a full stack or not. Yep. Yeah, the biggest thing that we learned from yesterday that's been useful is the cattails. I mean, torches are nice, but the cattails, holy shit, useful. Yeah, we went from struggling, frantically dying virtually every day. But yeah, feel free to cut down some trees, get some logs, and keep that firewood stack going. I think we're almost done, honestly. But we need more wood anyway, so it's never going to be a waste of time. Yeah, definitely faster. Okay, which hole? You're north of us. Are you 15 down? Or how many would you guess you're down the hole? Because I'll throw you dirt. Okay, one sec. By the way, Josh, here, can you plant these? Because I'm not fully sure what you're doing with your crop cycles. I gave you 2 seeds that you can throw in your farm. Yeah, but you designated yourself as a farmer. All right, where are you at? You fell here. There you go. Have you guys ever seen obsidian, by the way, just laying around? Because if you nap the other rocks, it's better than flint. In fact, there's a graph. I mean, it's all going to get trivial once we get to copper. But pre-copper, obsidian and other rocks are actually better. Let me find it real quick, actually. So flint, obsidian, other stone is worse than flint, apparently. Copper, tin. Yeah, in other words, it's not worth it, I guess, according to this. It's starting to get a little late. Oh, I have meat. Let me put that in the preservation. Right? It's a mirror. No, it's raining. It's sprinkling over here. There was a note about a temporal storm, by the way, at some day. I have a feeling we need to, like, essentially be ready for winter, pre-winter, because of the temporal storm. Cook what? Less than one what? Go look at the fire pits, and there's the cooked cattails in each of the outputs. Just grab some and start chewing. I haven't moved them into storage yet. Man, we went through that. The cattail roots pretty quick. What you wowing? Interesting. Well, normally we just cook them before they become perished, but... So tonight we're just staying alive, or staying up, right? Three by 3 by 3. Or 3 by 3 by 1. We might need another bowl. Let's look at it. I haven't reviewed it. 1, 2, 3. This could be done. I don't... Are they all 32? They look like they might be. We might be done with this. Oh. Yeah, we probably should cover this, by the way. Did he scare you? Okay. So, two tasks that we need to do. We're about to finish making this. In fact, I feel like we might be ready. The key thing on the directions, like if you press, just to let you guys review it, if you press H, go to guides, and you look for charcoal burning, we're trying to gather a charcoal pit, which is a dimension up to 11 by 11, 11 blocks. We're going to cheat with 3 by 3 by 1, just because the other is way too crazy. Fill your pit with complete stacks of firewood, and make sure you leave no empty blocks or your firewood will burn to ash. Cover the filled pit completely, so we're going to top it, and leave a single block in the center exposed to air. Build a fire pit on the remaining exposed block and cover it up with a solid blocks to seal the pit. So, how much dirt we got laying around? Quite a bit. Let's first seal the corners. You know how right now we're kind of cheating the corners? So like where I'm standing, these corners. Yeah. I just don't want to risk this because this is a lot of wood. Okay, so that's sealed everywhere, top and sides, or sides and bottom. So now go ahead and cover all but the very center on the top. If you can put it. Yeah, wait, there's a gap with it right here, isn't there? Can you put it lower than that? Did we overfill it? Hold up. I think we overfilled it. There's... Okay, so here's one I'm going to do from scratch, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16, 32. Is 32 a full stack? Is that what it said? I don't think it tells you what a full stack is. Oh yeah, we filled it up too much. Take off the top layer that you guys just placed. Okay. Now you should be able to put it on top like that. Yeah, we filled it one layer too many. It's hard to tell visibly, you know? There we go. Okay. So, oops. Someone steal a log. All right, so we're all filled. Pause this here. Now we need, does anyone have dry grass on them? Yeah, if not, it's super easy to get one. Like literally you can hit one of these right here. So we take a dry grass and I think it goes, yeah, perfect. So you put it on top of there like that. And then we put 4 logs. So there's our pit. Now, how much dirt does everyone have left over? You got 1. 36. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, let me reread this because I don't want to mess this up because we won't get charcoal otherwise. So we're building a fire pit on the remaining exposed block, which was in the center right there. And then cover it up with solid blocks to seal the pit. So I'm thinking we can at least we'll put a whole layer on top, you know, just to be safe. And you'll be rewarded with charcoal in less than an in-game day. If you hear burning sounds, you should open up the pit and quickly extinguish the fire. You must have missed a spot and the pit was not airtight. Okay. So I'm going to put logs. Oh, I can't access this to put logs. I guess it's considering the fire logs below the source. Okay, cool. I guess that means we're doing something right. So I got a fire starter. I'm going to start the fire and then just cover it a lot, you know, when we're done. We're probably going overkill, but, you know, whatever. All right, you ready? All right, the fire is started, and it says charcoal pit. Go ahead and just cover it all the way now, including the pit. Perfect. I already hear fire, but maybe not. I hear bad guys outside. Oops, Ian just fell out. We broke open the... Can you get in? Hurry, 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 hurry. Okay. That was funny. Yeah, you definitely looked over the edge. that's probably a good idea. Speaking of food, how's our food going? I think tomorrow I'm going to work on more cattail. I don't think you sleeping alone is going to start it. Figure I'd just throw some firewood here. Easy access when we want to ignite it. I made torches, but I don't see them anymore. I think I gave them all to Josh. If you feel adventurous, I think you could poke these guys from a safe distance. I don't know where a safe distance is, though. It looks a little cleaner, just stacked in the corner, you know? They're actually not too hard to fight, by the way, especially when you have vision. What made it a nightmare for us on the first game was we didn't know how to use torches, so this was just pitch black during the nights. It's hard to fight something you can't see. Man, you can see them. They're just roaming all over the place. Is it already daybreak? Wow, that was a quick night. Yeah, I think we're just speeding up the night, but it's still the same food. I'm gonna make this ladder into a stairway. or the stairway into a ladder. I don't hear any burning. I'm assuming the smoke goes away when it's done. So something we can do, by the way, I know daybreak's about to happen. Is we need to look at some of these items we got in these pots and just review them. As in, look up their item list on the ingredient list. Like cow parsley. It's just a flower, and it's not used for anything. But that's something we just needed to know. Feather is only made in arrows, and the first arrow you can make is a copper arrowhead arrow. So, next stage. What about rawhide small? You can make soaked hide small, then turn it into scraped hide small, and then you make prepared hide, which then makes leather. Now, in order to make tannin, how do you make portion of water? Salt with water? This kind of reminds me of Sevtech with how it's... I think this is going to need... Oh, it's in a barrel. So hides are useless till barrels, I think. Unless we find a huge hide. We can make a backpack with it. Okay, what about rye? We can grind rye, which apparently is a seed-based item. And we can grind it with a... I honestly don't know. I would assume bigger animals. Resin we know we use later. Does turnip and carrots have anything special? We can pickle carrot with brine. And turnips you can pickle as well, but you also use in cooking. I'm going to take this hide out of our food area, and as well as the crucible. Does it tell you the hunger mounts? Cattail root is a 100 sat. Considering how easy cattails are, I feel like that's better. The meal that we keep making, which is, where is it? Do we have any left? Yeah. It's 840 saturation. So 2 meat and 2 vegetables, I think, are like the best we're going to get. But considering effort until we get better tooling, I feel like cattails is the way to go. All right, so our charcoal pit is still smoking. Today, I think I'm going to work on getting more cattails. We can't get enough of them, you know? Cattails, ingots, and food in general. Maybe some more wood. Yes, please do. More the merrier. I hear like an animal of some form. Sounds like a chicken or something. I forgot my torch. It's an actual sunny day. What the heck? But yeah, meat, ingots, cattails. You want to break the roots, by the way. That's where the goods are. The copper's reeds. That's the food. If you punch it, it doesn't give you the roots. So you have to use a hunting knife or whatever. Yeah, we probably are going to need to start looking for ingots too, I think. Because I bet they're going to become an issue really soon once we get charcoal. It's either B or N. We're probably going to want more clay as well. But that's easy. It's right near us. you can make trapdoors, but we need a copper saw first. There's a rotting corpse of something in the water, just sitting there. Red meat, 3 red meat. That's funny. A hare. I bet that makes the water just lovely. If you ever see ruins, by the way, Ian, be sure to check them out. They'll sometimes have these vessels, you know, just like our chests, and you can break them and get good stuff sometimes. So, like, if you are exploring and you stumble upon them, always look for the chest. Man, if you kill a baby rabbit, it doesn't give you any meat. It's like they're made out of air. What happened? Sounds good. Yeah, looks like our charcoal is smoking still. That's funny. The tree must have been holding up the sand or whatever on the side. I bet. Noob. Do you see where my marker is? Head towards that. And then it's basically just southeast of that point. I mean, on the mini-map, you can kind of just see the areas because of your walls. There's like rectangles on the mini-map if you press M. All right, I'm going to be courageous after I make some flint. I want meat. Alright, where did that motherfucker go? Ah, shit. There's a bighorn right by him. Never mind, I'm not touching that. I'll go for a raccoon instead. I hear wolfies. Yeah, but it's going to go out once we figure out how good the charcoal is. I'm assuming we'll need lots of more charcoal, so more the merrier. I'm starting to feel like we're actually establishing ourselves, though. Yeah, it said like less than half a day or something, less than a day, but yeah, we'll see. We'll give it at least a day. I don't want to go early. We didn't nap. You only just went on your bed. Yeah. The stamina drain's about the same. I don't think you get a penalty for sleeping. It just speeds up time. feel like we need a third fireplace. In fact, I'm going to take down this. At least right there. I don't think it'll hurt anything. It's so nice to actually have food, you know? Just throw it in a torch or a fire pit. Unfortunately, all of them are used right now, but for now, I just come in the very right vessel, trade your unlit one for a lit one. That's easier than, because all of them are occupied right now. Nice. Is it game meat or raw, like good meat? If it's good meat, toss it in the left chest, the left vessel right here. And if it's game, bushmeat, I mean. Did you get any bushmeat? Nice. Okay. So, yeah, just toss it in there. I will start priming it. Oops. Those are used bowls. We need more bowls. Is anyone less than 4 saturation right now? Or hunger? Okay. Feel free to eat on the very left storage vessel. One of the cooked meals, the bowl meals. Because if you're at 4, it should fill you fully. Cool. And that's mainly so that we can take the empty bowl and I can make more, because meat does have a shelf life. And some of it's getting a little rotted, so I may as well cook it. Because it's easy to cook. Okay, so with that in mind, second from the left is where the nuggets are. I went ahead and cooked all the nearly expired meat, by the way. So the meals last for 10 days. Did it go away? It went away. All right, I guess moment of truth. I'm gonna take a quick look in the center. 4 layers of charcoal. That looks like a good thing. I don't know how we're supposed to collect it. Let's double check before we break it, you know? Because it's super valuable right now. Okay. If you hear burning sounds, does anyone, let's try a hatchet on it. Okay, I got a piece of charcoal with a hatchet. Let me try my fist now. Damn it. You fell into I punched you for it. There we go. Okay, you can just use your fist. Same thing. So yeah, help me collect it. Just, you can punch it all. I don't know. You can compare. I only did it twice. Cool. So I'm going to take some wood. I'm going to grab my crucible. I'm going to grab my copper. Do we have any copper? Yeah, we have native copper right here. And then I need to burn it with charcoal, actually. And we need this to get to 1084. Casterite nuggets cook at 232. That was really low. We don't have very, we only have 40 copper nuggets. Oh, I guess another thing we need to do is get ready to smelt. So, I'm looking up the guide real quick. To acquire your first metal tools, you'll need to smelt copper and later on bronze. You need to get charcoal, clay, and any copper nuggets. Craft a crucible through clay forming. We did that. You can acquire charcoal. We did that. Before you begin, also prepare 1 or more tool molds. We got those. You might want to start with a pickaxe and hammer mold. Got it. Once prepared, place the crucible in the fire pit. Then place the nuggets in the 4 crucible slots and heat. Okay. Then what? Take out the crucible and hold the right mouse over a mold to begin pouring. I think I have way too many in there right now. Let's, Alright. I see. So now we have a crucible with molten metal. Where are our molds? Here's an axe tool mold. And where's the other mold? Do you have the pickaxe mold anywhere, dude? I'm not seeing it. Oh, thank you. We just need to toss it on the ground. I'm guessing. That was all of it? Okay. Okay, so we need more charcoal in the right one, and we need more copper. Oops. Yeah, we might want to cover that. You got it? Okay, it's dead. Use your, you can harvest it with your, yeah, nothing in it though. Sometimes it drops flax. Alright, this is going to take a lot. It says it contains molten metal. Is it full? Oh yeah, it says 100 units full. Okay, and then what do we do while we wait for it? Do we just literally wait? Okay, you can place any amount of nuggets, but once, once smelted, take out the crucible, hold it right on it. Most molds require 100 units. After the item has been cooled below 200, you can take it out of the cast. Now we can make, yeah. Yep. Does someone want to make another mold of some form? Did we just go through all the copper? I think so. I don't know. That's a great question. Probably an ingot mold would be good. Shovel mold, long blade mold, getting a new weapon would be nice. I don't see a sphere mold. So we went through about 40 copper just now. That was kind of pricey, but we still have a lot of charcoal. So I'm hoping with the axe, we'll be able to mine more charcoal, or more ore faster. And then we can use that to expedite the process of getting more ingots and stuff. Cool. I feel like we need to like change the flooring, Josh, to maybe some of that sand, you know, like the andesite sand, just to stop this grass. Not that it's a problem, it's just annoying, you know? Eh. I mean, grass is super easy to get anyways. But cool. So we got these molds. I have no idea if they're multi-use or not. If they're not, we'll have to make like additional pickaxe tool molds. We need to keep the wood going in the left chest, or the left pot, because we still have roots. It's a little gross, by the way, that we're using the crucible and charcoal for in the same pot that we cook our food in, you know, like in the same fire pit. Yeah, a little metal doesn't hurt you. Well, something we can work on with any excess logs we have, use a hatchet and start making another charcoal pile. Even though we have 37, we may as well start prepping the next stack, you know? You can keep some downstairs. It's just nice to have, but like, yeah, definitely. I'd keep like 2 stacks. I need another hatchet. Yep. I guess. Looks like someone took it out already. Alright, so we take the head. What do we do with it? I literally think we just put a stick on it. Durability 300. Tool tier 2. Mining speed stone 4x. Breaks rocks with ease. Cool. Who wants to mine? And now we have a copper axe too. There you go. You want the copper axe, Josh? Cut down some trees? So tomorrow, obviously we still need to maintain our food, but definitely, yeah, cattails are gonna always be a good idea every day. And then, yeah, getting more wood will be nice. It's really Xynn. You can pretty much spend your day making, seeing what pickaxe stuff looks like. You may want to bring some cattail, cooked cattail with you. With that axe, I assume it's gonna eat stamina pretty bad. But anyways, yeah, let's... There's a cave right to our left. Should we go ahead and go to sleep? Is that what everyone's kind of leaning towards? Let's see how much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stamina bars. My food didn't like cook super fast though. I'm tempted to go out there and beat on the drifters. They're all slow in the water. I got 2. Apparently I brought the cooking pot. Cool, got some flax fibers from one of the drifters. But yeah, I have no idea how mining works. If you have to go to ore deposits, just keep in mind if you go deep, Ian, you may walk into a lot of drifters, so you may not want to venture too deep in any cave. But let me know if you find it on like a, you know, just hitting rock or something. Okay. Cool. We can make glass with that. But definitely, you're looking for copper or whatever the next upgrade is, which I forget what it's called. Let's see. Tin. Tin bronze. I would even say, though, just if you find copper, it's going to be plenty for us. Because I don't know. Because tin is, well, bronze at least is an alloy. I don't know if there's going to be extra work needed for that. In fact, I'm going to look into what we need to do next, because we just hit a major milestone. So smithing, we need to make an anvil mold, which is going to take 900 units of copper or bronze. So go get a lot of copper. You need to smelt some ingots and a hammer. We need to build a forge, which is made out of cobblestone. If you see, I guess, basalt stone. I guess any sort of stone. We need a lot of stone chunks. So I'm assuming you're going to get that when you smack rocks in general with the copper. But yeah, basically, we need a lot of bronze or copper. A lot. In fact, what we'll probably do is the next set of copper we get, we'll make another pickaxe so that we can really bring in the ingots. And then to start smithing, we need to make forge and anvil and a new smelter. I'm only clearing areas that have nothing on them. So like if there's something on the rock or on the tile, you don't need to clear it. Only got about 27 sand left, but it just makes things look a little more professional on the ground. Okay. We need to start making some clay molds now. Here. Have this stuff, Josh. If you want to keep working on it, I'll work on clay stuff. So we need an anvil. We need ingot mold, I think it said. Alright, so we got an ingot mold now. And then we need an anvil mold. I kind of like how it sounds when you run on it. Yeah, we'll need a hammer too. Yep, I got it in my hands. Where are you at? I threw it down on the ground right over there. I think the anvil is like one of the coolest molds I've made so far. Because you're like making an inverted anvil. You know, obviously it's a mold for one. So it's very satisfying to build. You can start working on the hammer if you want. You can help even. Here's I threw you a bunch of clay on the ground. Oops. last one is a hammer. Let's see. Hammer, mold. This one's not very interesting. Done. Cool. I'll review the list here in a sec. I'm starting to put clay and molds and ingots in the second vessel. Something else we need to work on is protecting your farm area. Because I've at least planted one seed there. I threw you my shovel. You want to throw it back, or do you have an extra shovel? Or actually, I have dirt. What am I talking about? Oh. I see how it is. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. You totally just snagged that dirt right when I was about to grab it. No, I'm kidding. Let's go. Put a wall for you. I honestly feel like we can probably just put this 2 up, right? We have a mold for a hammer, yes. We have a mold for an anvil, hammer, ingot. I think there's one other thing I need to make a mold for, but we don't have one yet. We need more nuggets for that. Nice. We're going to probably need more. I'm not sure what the ratios are of nuggets to their units or whatever, but nice. I have no idea how those convert. Are we protected with this? At least 2 up? Let's see. Probably take this out. Looks good. Take this out. I'm almost like, if they do this jump, they almost deserve it. So what I did is I just kind of collapsed the wall in a little here. That should be enough for now. We need to go back and check the other farm actually real quick. Yep. The quartz makes glass. I don't know of anything glass uses yet that we need other than windows. There's a damn rabbit in there, of course. And I fell in the water and I can't get out. Come on. All right. There was just carrots on the ground. Where is that damn rabbit? Look at all these. They'll ripen in like 2 days. We're going to have a fuckload of berries. Yeah, I don't know where the bird or the rabbit went. think he may have gotten out. Oh well. There's a better rabbit. Is it already sunset again? All right, I have carrot seeds and 4 turnip seeds. That works. All right, yeah, feel free to toss your nuggets in the very left one. Or second to left chest. So you found a ton of quartz. There's 20 units of copper in 17, so I think that's like quite a lot of copper. Charcoal, we got 37. All right, so by the way, Ian, something you can read up on is prospecting. Looking at your handbook for that. I'm not reading it yet, but I think that'll be something useful. Do you think I should take the time to make another pickaxe? Did it take you a while to do actual mining? 2 pickaxes worth it? What stab what drifters? You mean, well, I mean, we're upgrading armor and everything eventually with ingots. What are you talking about? What is this? Are you referring to prospecting? That's to find rare ores like bronze. Okay, so we need to smelt ingots, hammer, forge. The forge requires stone. Did we get any stone when you were mining? Did you have the ability to mine stone? Okay. Basically, if you take anestite and clay, thank you. You can give me more if you have any more. I can make anestite cobblestone. And I need at least like 9 or something. Let's see. I might have enough. Let's see. Nope, I only need 7. So I'm good. I got enough. I have a forge. All right. Let's move the wood over a little. There's our forge. Nice. bony soil. Did we close the door? Yeah. Okay, good. Just making sure. Place in the anvil and select what you want to smith. Use the hammer in different tools mode to spread the metal into the voxels and remove any excess metal. Okay. So basically, I'm going to take your copper. I think we'll start with a hammer. It took you pretty much all day to get everything you just mined, right, Ian? My question to you is, do you think it's worth it for us to get 2 pickaxes as priority? Or do you think we should just rush to smithing and, like, more advanced crafting? Like, are you going to be fine going out and mining again with just that axe? Like, what's the durability on that axe right now? Is it still pretty much full? Okay, yeah, it's pretty much full. So we could easily use it another 3 or 4 days and not need a new one yet. So we don't need a lot. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to get perspective. All right, so let's fire some nuggets, make this hammer mold, and mix it with the anvil mode afterwards. Mold. Because I think we need those 2 tools next. So I'm going to get some native copper and some charcoal. And basically, I'm going to go for the hammer and then the anvil. And if I do have excess... Oh, you're right. Well, let me go for the nuggets. You want to work on those while I work on the nuggets? See if you can break them down. Oh. Got it. Well, I will prioritize the hammer. Once this gets done, I will mold the hammerhead. And what else do I need to make a hammer? Just the stick, I guess. Yep, stick and a hammerhead. So give it a sec. I will be making this crucible, and I'll have you a hammer shortly. And yes, making more, cutting down wood, turning it into charcoal is going to be needed. I mean, we do have quite a bit charcoal left, but we're going to go through it pretty quick, especially to finish the anvil and everything. So this is going to create 395 units of copper from your 76-ish nuggets. So I guess it's about times 5 or something of your nugget count. So this won't be enough for an anvil, but it should be plenty for your hammer mold. I don't think it takes very much. I'll just pour the excess into the anvil. Or maybe into a copper or another pickaxe. Yeah. Hammer is definitely a priority. Alrighty. Okay, why am I not able to pour into it? Oh, it's raw. Damn it. I'm dumb. I forgot to fire it. I need a... It seems like it's retaining its temperature at least. I don't think it cools until it's poured. I put it back in the pit just in case. Maybe that's keeping the temperature. Let me see. If I put it back in my hand, it just says 1300. I don't think it's cooling until you pour. That's reassuring. Alright, and while that cooks, we need to fire actually these two as well. Yeah, it's okay the left one went out. I took out the charcoal so we weren't just wasting it. I have it on my hands. We're good. Do you need it upstairs? It's literally 2 sticks and dry grass to make it, so. You're confident you got it all sealed and everything proper? Nah, it's all good. Go for it. Alright, I got a fired head. Let's pour. There. And I have 295 left. Do you think I should work on another axe or pickaxe, or should I just put it in the anvil? Yeah, let me work on that. What do you think, Ian? Okay. The anvil's going to cost 1,000, so we're going to need potentially all this and all the chunks to potentially make the anvil. Oops, we need more wood. Yeah, having the fire logs stacked like that is super useful because I can just grab more. Alright, so there's the ingot. Fired. We're just waiting on the anvil mold, and we're waiting on this. So yeah, Ian, when this cools to 200-ish, you should be able to take it out and put your stick on it. And then you can start working the chunks. You're going to need the anvil in order to process the chunks, do you know? Okay. Yeah, it sounds like that new axes. Very nice. Where's the sunrise? All I see is just red. Alright, I'm pouring the anvil. It's a little scary the temperature's going down. I really hope we can fill it more. I assume we'll be able to later. So, yeah, we're just waiting on the hammer mold. I love how there's a quality preset of glorious. Right? Oh shit, I had carrots in my hands. We need another vessel for food, jeez. Meat is good. There's one that's only 1.3 days. We have 14 meat with 1.3 day shelf life, so. Oh yeah, it's already midnight. Well, let's wait until the hammer's done. If that's cool. The hammer is at 600 degrees. We'll get it to 200. We'll get the hammer, and then we can at least learn what we're going to be doing tomorrow based on that. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more comfy. Yep. I have a feeling we'll need to grow it later too. Anyways, it's at 400. Once it hits 200, we'll make the hammer real quick. We can play with the chunks for a moment. If we can't make the chunks work without an anvil, then we just know that priority one tomorrow's anvil. Do you think you'll be able to play tomorrow, Ian, around the same time again? And Josh, are you going to be available? You're going to be probably cyberpunking, huh? Because I know cyberpunk is on your mind, Josh. Yep, let us know. All right. Is it 200 yet? Sounds good. We're at 240. Oh, you can pick it up. Cool. Put a stick on it. And now, I guess, can you use it in your crafting window or something with your chunks? Nice. So how many ingots did you get? You can just toss them, spread them evenly on the nugget, on the 4 slots on the top. You can pick it all up and then I think hold right click and drag and it'll spread it even. You want as much as you can on each one. Not just one, yeah. I know there's a way to like spread it easier. It's not right click. What is it again? Yeah, left click drag. Yeah, so that was what, 15, 30. It's about the same again. And that was off of like 15 nuggets. All right, we'll fire that tomorrow. So we got about 140 nuggets, which was like 700, I think, units. So we need all that you got yesterday and then a little bit more to finish an anvil fully. And then any excess we'll throw into, probably should make a shovel mold and stuff. But anyways, we're done for tonight. Thanks for playing, guys. Oh, you're the one that's Russian, so yeah, let's make some vessels real quick. Want to make like one each? Do we have enough copper or clay sitting around? We might need to go get more clay. Oh, there we go. Now I know where all the clay went. Are we racing? I ran out of clay. Here, Ian. One down. Where's the fire starter? Who's dying? Is that food? There should be a meal over there. Very left one. Yeah, put them on top of each other. Oh, in the fire. Nice. Do you still need more clay, Ian? I guess 2 more. Or 3 more, I guess. Yeah. I do love how like collaborative this game is. You know, the fact that we're all like working together to make vessels and stuff, you know? And just how we all team up to finish achievements and stuff. Cannot place a block here. Requires solid ground. You can't put a vessel on a vessel. In at least stack them physically in the map. But I'll put some on the edge. Nice. Yep, we're moving along. We have our worshipping urns on the edges. Our sacrificial. Yeah, I've been uploading all mine. Content. And your charcoal pit is smoking. Cool. Anyways, yeah, we can call it. We'll play more tomorrow. And yep, take care, dude. You two can go ahead and disconnect. I probably won't play unless both you guys are available. And if you've been watching, thanks for watching.